Let's start this video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nutty, and if you are new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being a day one. Okay, today we are going to go over the cost of living in China, or rather in Beijing. So yeah, I want to get straight into it because this might be a long video. So I'm gonna try to speak as fast as possible and try to also give you guys all the information that you may possibly need. So Beijing is a T1 city. It's the capital city of China. So it's a T1 city, meaning that the expenses are quite high, the cost of living is quite high as opposed to other cities in China. So we have cities like Shanghai also. We also have cities like Guangzhou and Shenzhen. These four cities are the T1 cities, and they are the most expensive cities in China. You are probably not going to be moving to Beijing or Shenzhen, Shanghai, Guangzhou. So chances are you will be spending less money. Also, it depends on your lifestyle, okay? It entirely depends on your lifestyle. So this is just a general analysis of how much a regular person like me spends in China, okay? Like how much life here costs. Okay, so we have cities like Nanjing, Ningbo, I think Tianjin, Chongqing. These cities are T2 cities. So T1 cities have a GDP of around more than 300 billion US dollars, and then it has like a population of more than 15 million people, of which T2 cities have less. Okay, so obviously if you're trying to move to other cities, you are going to spend less. Okay, the first cost that I am going to unfold is transportation. So you are going to come to China, and obviously you're going to get off at the airport, and the first thing you're going to spend your money on is transport, right? So as I said in my last sit down video, I was talking about moving abroad and how much you should have at least in your wallet when you just get to a certain place. For example, China, because I am in China. I am more familiar with China than any other place. So if you are coming to China, I would highly recommend you to have 300 or more, probably 300 to 500 RMBs. Obviously, you're gonna take a meter taxi when you are at the airport because you will not have the apps that are needed to get other alternative cabs. Like if you're trying to get like a Didi, you need an app. You need an app. But because you'll be new in the country, you will not have all of these. So you're just gonna take a meter taxi, which is more expensive than other cabs. Okay, so taxis start from 14 RMBs in Beijing, but I think in Shenzhen they start from like 16 kwai, and then in Shanghai I'm not sure, I think it's 15 kwai, not so sure, but wherever you're going, no matter the distance, it's gonna start from 15 kwai upwards. Okay, so if I'm going to a place that is 5 kilometers away from my house, I will probably pay around 35 to 40 RMBs on a cab, right? So there are many other modes of transport that you can use. Okay, so if you're trying to save money, you can use the bus. The bus starts from 1 kwai if you have the bus card, or if you have Alipay in your phone, or the bus app, or maybe Apple Pay. Okay, so you can pay 1 kwai depending on the distance as well, but I think it ranges from 1 to 3 kwai. So it starts from 1 to 3 kwai depending on where you're going. Okay, so And then I did mention Didi. Didi is a taxi. There are other taxis that you can take that are much cheaper than Didi. But obviously you will start having these kind of apps when you have kind of settled in the country. Okay. And then we have meter taxis, ooh, girl. I'm so sorry. I think maybe I'm speaking too fast. Okay. Meter taxis are more expensive. Well, I think they are more expensive because sometimes you find that the taxi driver is not even trying to use the map to get you to where you're going, and then they take the longer route and you find yourself spending more money. So I would highly suggest you to try to get these apps as soon as you get into the country so that you can find yourself spending much less. Okay. And then another mode of transport is the subway. You are going to use the metro to go to work, to go to school. It's going to cost you much less. It starts from 3 kwai depending on the stops or the distance that you're going to. So it starts from 3 to 8 RMBs. I remember I would go from Xijinshan, which is in the east or west of Beijing, and go to the other side of Beijing and then spend around 2 hours in the subway and only pay like 7 kwai. So from Xijinshan to Shunyi, I would pay 7 kwai. But if I used a cab, I would have used probably 100 RMBs to get to the other side of town. So the subway is very convenient, especially when there is traffic. Okay, so that is the other mode of transport that you can use to save money. It starts from 3 to 7 kwai or 8 kwai. Okay, and then we have bicycles, right? We have the public bicycles that you can use from the Hello Che. Hello Che is on Alipay as well. So these can be used by foreigners, but other bicycles are it's kind of hard to use them because they require an ID, a Chinese ID number, which we don't have as foreigners. So I would highly suggest that you try to get your Alipay started as soon as you get here as well, so that you can be able to use a bicycle if you are trying to go to a place that's not so far away. Then you can use it. It's gonna cost you like 1 kwai, or maybe you can pay like 30 kwai a month, and then it will not deduct anything. You're just gonna be riding the bicycles throughout the month, and then it's just gonna deduct only 30 kwai. It doesn't matter how many times you're using the bicycle, it will just deduct 30 RMBs. Okay. Then we have e-bikes. E-bikes are the electric bikes or the scooters that a lot of people use here to save money. So you just charge it at home in the morning or maybe in the evening when you come back from school or work, and then you will use it to go to work the next day. So I think one e-bike costs about how much is the price? I think it's like 2,000, 3,000. It starts from 3,000, 2,000, somewhere there. You can also get a second hand, which could probably also be 2,000, 1.5 to 2,000. And then, yeah, from 2,000 to like 5,000, 6,000, maybe. It depends on the brand. It depends on what you are looking for. Okay, I believe that I have covered a lot about transportation. Transportation is never a problem in China. Yeah, it doesn't matter what time you're trying to go anywhere. If you're trying to go somewhere around 2 a.m., you will find a cab. If you're trying to go somewhere at 6 a.m., you will find a car. Okay, the subway opens around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and then they close around midnight. So transport is never a problem in China. Okay, and then that's why you don't even feel like you will need a car. Like, I don't feel like I need a car because transport is so easy in China. Okay, so we have the next point, which is accommodation, right? So obviously apartments differ. Okay, they differ. So if you're trying to live close to the CBD, you are definitely going to be spending a fortune. But if you're trying to live in the outer parts of the city, you will spend less. So if you're trying to live around the CBD, you're going to pay around 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 for a single bedroom or rather studio apartment. Okay, and most of the times in Beijing, because Beijing is an old city, so you'll find yourself actually spending a lot of money on an apartment that's actually old. If it is a renovated, refurbished apartment, you will definitely pay more. Okay, so if you're trying to move here, I think maybe you could live on the third ring, second ring. I'll show you the subway map here, somewhere here, and then you guys can understand what I mean by rings. So in the second ring, that's around town. First ring, you have the Tiananmen Square, you have the Hutongs. It's very expensive around there. Then you have the CBDs on the second ring on 910, and then third ring around 914. The apartments kind of get cheaper, but if you're trying to live in places like Shunyi, Tongzhou, Fengtai, Changping, Mentogo, Fangshan, Muyi, these districts are in the outer parts of Beijing, so chances are you are going to get a really nice apartment at a very reasonable price, like Dasing as well. Okay, so you can get apartments there. This also applies for 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartments. The price range starts from 7 kwai upwards if you are close to the CBD, but if you are trying to live in the outer areas of the city, you will pay a little bit less. Okay, and then while we are talking about the apartments, obviously there are bills that you will have to pay. You are going to be paying for water. Water is not so expensive. I personally pay around 120 to 130 after every 3 months, so that's very cheap considering that I always use the washing machine to do my laundry. And then the electricity, my electricity bill is, I don't really get a bill, but I just make sure that I never run out of electricity. So each month I pay 100 RMBs for my electricity. Okay, and then we also have the central heating system in Beijing. Beijing is located in the north of China, so winter is really cold. So you will find yourself having to pay for that central heating system, which might cost you around 1,600 RMBs a year. So the heaters are on throughout the winter, and you find yourself wearing like a t-shirt and shorts in the house because that's how hot it becomes in the house. Okay, so yeah. And then Wi-Fi I pay around 800 RMBs a year, okay, of Wi-Fi unlimited, so I can use it as much as I want, and it's gonna cost me 800 RMBs a year. And then now I'm going to address people that are trying to come to China to study, right? So you will be living in a dormitory at your school. I highly suggest, yes, you can still live in an apartment somewhere close to your school, but I would highly recommend you to go to live in a dormitory because the fees are less and it's more convenient. You can find yourself paying like 5,000 RMBs for a dormitory. So yeah, in a semester, so it's 5,000 per semester. Okay, if you are trying to get an apartment, you might be paying that 5,000 per month. Do you understand the difference? Like if you're trying to live in an apartment, yes, you have your own space, you have your own kitchen, but you're coming here to study. So the least of your worries is getting a kitchen of your own, getting your own space, well, that's for me, because I lived in a dorm throughout my studies. Okay, so I highly suggest that you get into a dormitory that is clean. The international department of your university will take care of that. Excuse me, will take care of that. Okay, so you might find yourself paying around 5,000 for your dorm, a shared room with another foreigner. Then you might have your own shower in there, and yeah, but the kitchen, you will have to share it with the rest of the people that you're living with in the dormitory. Okay, and then what else? Some schools are more expensive, of course, like 5,000 is like basic, but then you can also, in my first university, I used to pay like 9,000 per semester, but that one was really nice because they used to change our bedding for us. We used to sleep in white linen. There was a TV. They used to clean for us. So I guess that's what we were paying for. But in this case, if you're trying to get into a public school in China, you won't pay more. And if you are not going to be studying in a T1 city, you're probably going to study in a T2, T3, T4, you know, you will pay less. Okay, your life is going to be much cheaper. Okay, excuse me guys, I feel like I am speaking too fast because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so I have talked about transportation, accommodation, and I think I didn't tell you guys about accommodation. Also, one thing that I didn't mention is that when you move into your apartment, you are going to need an agency, right, to find your apartment for you, and you're gonna pay them an agency fee, which is equivalent to your monthly rent. So, example, your rent is 5K, right? You move into an apartment, you're gonna pay your agent 5K too, okay? And then you have to pay a deposit, which is also 5K, okay? And then you have to pay your rent also, which is 5K. So usually they expect you to pay your rent times 3 for 3 months. Okay, so you're gonna pay for 3 months, the first 3 months, then you pay your agency fee, and then you pay your deposit. So it's gonna be 55555. How much is that? 25. 25K. 这么多钱，贵了，我知道，最贵了。生活贵了。So I just said, I know it's expensive, life is expensive, but after that you will settle. You're gonna settle, and probably like after 2 months of moving in, because after moving in you'll have to like get some kitchenware, you know, make your house a home. But the nice thing about apartments in China is that as soon as you move in, it's fully furnished in most cases. Like it has a bed, a couch, a washing machine. So all you gotta do is just buy bedding for your bed, buy some cushions for your couch. Okay, so it's not gonna be that bad. Okay. Whew. So let's move on to the next part of this video. We are gonna talk about food. Let's talk about food. Okay, so food is not so expensive, but also it depends what you are trying to eat. We are foreigners, so obviously you will get tired of eating Chinese food all the time, right? So I have always been a person who preferred cooking over eating out or buying takeaways. Okay, so I only eat out during the weekend, or if I'm with my friends, or if I'm exploring. I like to explore, like I like trying out new restaurants, trying out new food. but I only do that during the weekend and not during the week. Okay, so I cook. Vegetables are quite cheap. I'll show you guys the price of vegetables somewhere here. We can find like cucumbers for like 6 kwai, garlic 2 kwai, onion 3 kwai, carrots like that. It's not so expensive. But what is expensive is fruits. Fruits are so expensive, guys. Bananas 10 kwai, apples 15 kwai, probably like 3 apples. It's kind of expensive to buy fruits, but vegetables are quite cheap. And then you have eggs and milk. Eggs, if you want a tray of 12 eggs, you might be paying like 15 kwai for them. And then if you want a liter of milk, you might be paying like 12 kwai. And I highly suggest that if you are coming here and you like cooking, please buy your food from the market. Buy your food from the market, okay? You can buy them from the supermarket like Walmart, but try to buy your vegetables from the market and you will definitely spend less than what you would spend in Walmart. Okay, then we have meat. Beef and lamb are expensive, and then we have chicken. Chicken is cheaper. A chicken breast, 3 chicken breasts, you'll find that you're paying like 12 to 15 RMBs. And then if you want to buy like a pork shoulder, you want to make a stir fry with like some pork, you're gonna pay like 21 kwai. But if you're trying to buy oxtail, baby, Christmas. Oxtail is for Christmas, guys. I buy oxtail because now I'm selling food, but oxtail is for Christmas. Oxtail 1 kg is like 100 and something, 150. Lamb chops go range from like good quality lamb chops go for like 80 and upwards. Also, it depends where you're buying your meat. You want to buy the meat from a good butchery. The market usually have like fresh meat, so that's why I say go to the market to buy your food. Don't be lazy. For me, I shop online, but I have somebody that I just contact when I want food from the market, and then they just deliver it to my house. Oh, okay. And then let's now talk about water. Drinking water, okay? So I have a dispenser. I only spend 20 kwai for 18 liters, and I buy water twice a month, so I spend like 40 RMBs on drinking water. You cannot drink water from the tap, you will get sick. You cannot even boil it, you will get sick. So what you need to do is buy water, drinking water. We also have like Nongfu, Sabon. These brands sell good water, and I think the price of probably like a 4-liter bottle of water, you might find yourself paying around 8 to 9 kwai, okay? And then if you want to buy like a 1.5 liter, you're going to find yourself paying around 3 kwai. And then for a 500 ml, probably 2 kwai or 1 kwai. So this drinking water is not so expensive because it is essential. It's a need, okay? So let's move on to self-care. You gotta take care of yourself, girl. Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about toiletries. I use shea butter in winter, but now I'm trying out a new cream for my face. So they gave me a tester at Innisfree, and I'm not sure of the price yet, but my shea butter, I spend 90 kwai, and then I whip it myself, and I just put like your olive oil and like essential oils, and then I just mix it together, and voila, a glowing skin. Okay, let me stop playing. And then we have deodorant. If you want deodorant, quite expensive, if I must say myself. It is, you don't just find it in the supermarket, in a Chinese supermarket. You might have to order it, or you could find it at Watson's or any other shop that sells imported Haibo. Imported products. Okay, so I buy my deodorant from Taobao. Okay, and it comes after like 3 days. Okay, and then we have your hair. The barber shop. If you're a man or a woman who keeps her hair short, you will spend around 200 kwai on a haircut. 100 kwai to 200 on a haircut. And then if you're trying to braid your hair, you want some cornrows for your wig, you'll pay like 150 to 200. And then if you want like your knotless braids or your usual braids, you might find yourself spending 350 to 450. That does not include the fiber that you will be using. So you can buy fiber from WeChat. A packet could be like 12 kwai, 15 kwai, but sometimes these hairdressers say that they're fake, but I don't care. I still use them anyways because I'm gonna take them off. It's plastic at the end of the day, okay? And then we're gonna talk about nails. 80 to 160 or 180 depending where you're going. Obviously, if you're going to a place like Wudako, it's much cheaper because it's in Haidian district and I live in Chaoyang. Chaoyang district is very expensive, so in Chaoyang you're gonna pay like 200 and above for your nails, okay? And then you want to do lashes, you'll pay 180 to 280 for your lashes, okay? Also depending where you are in the city. Right now, my internet data, how much do I spend? I pay 50 RMBs a month for my phone to have internet. I think they give me like 10 gigabytes of data, and then I don't know how many calling minutes I'm given because I hardly ever make phone calls. But if I am going to a city out of Beijing, my phone automatically roams and it costs me more money to use the internet or make phone calls. I just realized that I have been speaking with my hand. Sorry guys. Okay, so but I can't. This is how I speak. This is how I speak. Okay, so yeah, then we have clothes. This is one thing that a lot of people are interested in. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I heard things are so cheap in China. I heard life is cheap in China. Well, now I made this video. You can calculate to yourself for yourself. Okay, you can calculate for yourself and tell me and comment down below. Let me know if you still think that China is a cheap place to live or Beijing, because yes, in other cities it is cheaper, but in Beijing life is a bit more expensive because it is a T1 city. Okay. Now we're talking about clothes. I shop from Zara, H&M, Gap. Okay, those are the clothing stores that I shop from. And a shirt, like this shirt, for example, this blouse, for example, I got it from Zara. I paid like 200 to 300 RMBs for it. And then you go to Gap, you can also get like a t-shirt for like 180. And then you want pants or jeans, you're gonna pay like 300 kwai or more. But I do shop on Taobao as well. If I go to H&M or Zara, I'm trying to get like good quality clothes that can last me. But on Taobao, I can buy clothes that I'll probably only wear this summer, and then the next summer I won't be wearing them anymore. Taobao is very cheap. It has really cheap, nice clothes. But you also need to like, they also have expensive clothes because you do have like luxury stores on Taobao. So Taobao is quite broad. Okay, so we'll talk about Taobao in another video, not this one. Otherwise, I will not finish. Okay, now let's go to entertainment, baby. Kinda what's that song? Hike, hike, hike. I'm so playful. Oh my gosh. Let's get to it, okay? Let's talk about entertainment. Restaurants. You want to go out. You want to go on a brunch with your girls. You want to go for drinks with your boys. Okay, this is how it goes. Restaurants, you want to go for brunch, right? A brunch is about probably 300 upwards for a full probably like a buffet, and then like a free flow of drinks for like probably like 3-4 hours. Yeah, I think East Hotel has something like that. And then there's also Intercontinental. It has its own branch, and you find yourself paying probably like 300 to 400, 500, I don't know, somewhere there. So that's how much it costs. Okay, so it is more expensive to eat Western or Western food than eating Asian food. Okay, also not Asian food, let me say Chinese food, because if you want to go to a proper Japanese or a proper Thai restaurant, you are gonna cough out some moolah. Okay, so you want to go, you don't want to go for brunch, you want to go for dinner, you want to go for lunch, you want to go for breakfast. I would suggest you just have like 500 RMBs. Yes, it sounds like it's a lot of money, but wait till you are in that restaurant. You are with your friends, the conversations are flowing, the drinks are also flowing. Look, you'll find yourself spending that money. Trust me. Okay, so at least have like 500 kwai if you are trying to go out with your buddies. Then we're going to talk about bars. How much is a cocktail? A cocktail is about 35 RMBs if you are in a bar, a student bar, like the bar's target market is students, and then you're trying to go to a place like a hotel, like the May Bar, you're going to pay like 70, 80 kwai for a cocktail. If you're going to go to a restaurant and you want to have cocktails there, you're going to pay like 60, 40. But there's also happy hour, so you try to go, if you want to save money, you can go earlier and you will pay probably half the price, or buy one get one free. And then clubs. I don't know much about tables in the clubs or drinks or bottles in the clubs, but I know that most of the times when they have like parties, you'll find yourself having to pay like 150, 200, 250 for a ticket to enter the party, and then you'll get like 2 complimentary drinks. Okay, I think that you guys now kind of have like a clear picture of how much life costs here. Of course, I have not covered everything, but I have covered the basic needs, okay? Basic things that you will be spending your money on, okay? This shouldn't be the last one, but we're going to talk about school fees for people that are trying to study without scholarships. Of course, there are scholarships, but if you are trying to come, you are able to pay for your own fees. Most of the time, as a university here costs about 15,000 RMBs per semester if you're doing your course. That's like an undergraduate, but obviously for a master's degree, you're gonna pay more, probably like 20 and above per semester, right? So that's gonna be like probably 35 to 40K a year, okay? But if you're doing language, you're gonna spend less. It might be like 9,000, 10,000 for language in Beijing. But if you're trying to study in other cities, it is definitely going to be cheaper. And if you're trying to study here, you're gonna have to pay for your visa, you're gonna have to pay for your medical insurance, you're gonna pay for your physical test, because you have to be healthy when you move to China, okay? So yeah, I think that covers everything that I wanted to unfold for you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I know this is a very long sit down video, but I feel like it's quite informative for somebody who is trying to move to China. And yeah, I hope you guys can help me grow my channel. We are still on the way to 500 subscribers. I can't believe it. Please help me by subscribing to the channel. Thank me for this video by subscribing to my channel. Or if you have already subscribed, just give it a thumbs up, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you next time. Toodles!